But before that, let's take a look at this week's election highlights. Highlight for me this week is when Demonic Raab told the parents of that kid that was killed by that American who was driving on the wrong side of the fucking road to pay their own legal bills. Supposedly to protect the taxpayer. They are the taxpayer, you fucking heartless prick. They pay your wages. That's why we pay our taxes, so that if we get ill, or we want our kids to get an education, or if we need legal aid. Another thing the Tories have decimated. Demonic Raab says there are no obstacles to justice, unless you're fucking poor, in which case go fuck yourselves. That's the Tories' idea of justice. That's the Tories' idea of fucking everything. That's the only Tory policy worth knowing. If you get into trouble and you've got no money, tough. He's having quite a week, isn't he, Demonic Raab? When the Tories changed their Twitter account to make it look like it was a fact-checking website, he dismissed the stunt, saying that no one gives a toss about the cut and thrust of online electioneering, which is yet another blatant lie to try and justify a blatant lie. Online is exactly where this election is being fought. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, fucking Facebook, where we shout from the rooftops about our politics and then we forget to vote. They don't even have to spy on us anymore. We just hand it over to them gladly. Our photographs, our politics, what we eat, our hopes and our fears. There you go, have that. And feel free to use that information to help win the next election. Twitter, fuck me, where to be a true liberal means calling anything you don't like the look of a Nazi. Where anyone over 40 is unable to express an opinion without being called a boomer. Where anyone with a dick is unable to express an opinion without being accused of mansplaining. I refuse to listen to and block anyone I disagree with. And I'm just going to sit on my phone reading articles that confirm that I'm right. And occasionally, when someone fucks up, I will rage at that person until they are destroyed. And then I will go back to following anyone that looks like they vote the same way as I do. Where people pontificate about the reasons people vote differently to them. I'm not saying everyone that voted Leave is a racist, but they are unconsciously biased, which means I've decided they're a racist, they just don't know they are. Where right-wingers call any Labour policy that is even a millimetre left of centre a communist plot to overthrow the monarchy by, I don't know, properly funding domestic violence refuge centres. Marxist nonsense. This is where and how the election is really being fought. Online, where you can fling as much shit at your opponents as you like. The level of debate is terrifying. That said, anyone that votes Tory is a self-serving wanker. Tim. I'm better off under the Tories. Yeah, with inheritance tax as it stands, we pocket a tidy sum when your mum decides to switch Auntie Winnie off. And if Labour closes that tax loophole, I might be forced to sell off one of Uncle Jack's racehorses. Selfish. That said, if you're a poor working class family sat round the table doing your sums, I'm better off under Labour. Tax cuts for the poor will save the family 600 quid a year, and an increase in Uncle Trevor's disability allowance will mean he no longer needs to give out hand jobs for stout down the Legion. We're all a bunch of selfish wankers, really, aren't we, Tim? Well, another week of twists and turns. Yesterday, it was Labour's day to shine as they launched their manifesto. We spoke to a tearful Lily Allen as she went through the...